Okay, I'm going to be talking today about opening leads. This is going to be a fairly basic uh, summary of the main opening leads. We're not going to do complicated, advanced concepts. So we'll keep it very simple. I'm going to talk to you for about half an hour, and then I'm going to take some questions. We hope that our partner has the jack of spades, or maybe even better, the ace of spades. But it's an okay lead. I mean, it's a lead that I prefer over the other choices. Now, if I had something really attractive like Jack 10-9 or Queen Jack 10 and another suit, then I would leave that instead. But King Queen low against a suit contract. Against a suit contract, he's okay. I wouldn't lead this against no trump. Okay. Now I'm getting a ton of messages, no sound. Can someone tell me if you do have sound? Okay. With a message, because I don't. It's very distracting. I'm getting tons of no sound, no sound, no sound, and I'm speaking. So maybe someone on the staff can do something about. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can stop those no sound, no sound, no sound. I don't know what to do. I can't switch to text because it is too much to type. I can speak much faster than I can type. Okay, so maybe we can just explain to the all these people who are saying no voice, no voice, no voice. Can we just tell them how to get voice? Okay, because most people say they hear me, and then the people that don't hear me, maybe there's a way to tell them. Okay, let me just send out the messages. Okay, I am speaking. Hold on. Let me send out one message and then we'll get speaking and most hear me. You need to find a way to put on your system. I'll try that. All right. Sorry, I'll try not to get distracted anymore. Let's talk about bridge. Okay, so I'm going to leave the king here, and what I'm hoping, let me show you the full deal. This is something that might happen to you sometime, and I don't want you to use it. I believe you can now see all the cards. And sometimes you'll lead this king from king, queen low, and it's going to look like this, and it's not good because it's going to go low, low, ace, and they're going to get a trick with their jack of spades. And there's just, that's life. Sometimes your lead doesn't work out, and there's really not much you can do about that. But king, queen low is an okay lead against a suit contract. King, queen, low, low, queen, jack, low, low. But we're going to talk a little more about this. Okay, 3 in a row is fine, but 2 in a row, that's something we're going to talk about. So let's look at another example. Let's say you're on lead with this, and let's say the bidding goes 1 spade, pass. Let's say it goes 2 spades, pass, 4 spades, all pass. Okay. Now, it's certainly not 100% what to lead. If I had Queen Jack 10 of hearts, that would be a standout to lead the Queen of Hearts. Here, I have other choices. I could lead a trump, although I wouldn't. We'll talk about trump leads later. I could lead from 3 to the jack in the clubs, but I wouldn't do that either. I could lead this ace of diamonds, but that's not my style. So I'm going to take it back right away. I don't even like showing it out there. That's leading an ace against a suit contract is pretty much a no-no. Don't underlead it. Don't lead it against a suit contract. If they're in 7, maybe you would lead it, but we don't want to lead aces against suit contracts. Against no trump, we can lead away from an ace for sure, but not against suit contracts. So what would I lead here? I would lead hearts, and it's a suit contract that they're in, so I would lead the queen of hearts. That's what I would lead, right or wrong. And hopefully it doesn't cost us. It could cost us, but that's the safest lead here. Maybe my partner is the king or the 10 or the ace. On a bad day, it'll cost. But I'm not going to lead the 4th best here because it's not like I'm trying to set up my hearts. I'm just trying to maybe get a heart trick. Let's change it a little bit, though. And then I'll summarize what the rule is here. Let's say we have the same hand and we have a different auction. Okay. Let's say it goes one, no trump. Okay. Please don't think of coming in here. Okay. You're not going to overcall on the two level with this hand. And let's say they raise to three, no trump. Any number of no trump. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to lead our best suit. Okay. The general rule against no trump, unless there's some bidding of some other suits, when there are no trump, you're going to lead your longest and strongest suit, and that's hearts. However, don't lead the queen of hearts. The correct lead here is the five of hearts. So let me give you the exact rule, okay? When they are in a trump contract, okay, when they are in a trump contract, okay, let me just type one more thing. There is most, let me put 90% in here. Okay. When you are when they are in a trump contract, okay, we're not going to lead fourth best from a queen jack or king queen or ace king. We're going to lead the top when we have only two of them: king queen, ace king, queen jack, jack ten. Against a trump suit, we're going to lead the top one. However, when they are in no trump, okay, and we have a suit like this one, queen jack empty, then we're going to lead fourth best. Okay. If we had, well, let me show you another one, and then I'll give you the rule one more time, just so we can do it right. Okay. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, and perhaps the staff here can answer all these questions when people are asking me to fix the sound, because there's nothing I can do other than it's distracting me. Okay, so let's say you have this hand, and let me state the rule one more time. Let's say they open one spade, and we pass. Now, yeah, that's one thing I'll point out, since this is multi-functional lesson, not just opening leads. Please do not overcall on the two level with a 5-card suit and a bunch of junk, like what is it, 7, 9, 10 points. Not nearly enough. Okay, make it ace, king, queen, 6 of hearts, and we can do it. Anyway, you pass, they bid, say, 2 spades, and it goes past 4 spades. Okay, so we're on lead against a suit contract. We're certainly going to lead the ace of hearts. From ace, king, the common lead is the ace. Okay, it's very 1980s if you were to lead the king from this. So we lead the top from ace king or king queen or queen jack. We would lead the top against the suit contract. But if we change the bidding, let me back up and change the bidding here to no trump. Let's go back here. And let's start bidding again. Let's say it goes one, no trump. And again, please don't come in. And it goes, let's say pass, pass, pass. Okay, we're going to lead hearts, but against no trump, we're going to lead the fourth from our longest and strongest. Our thinking, so I'll say the rule one more time. Okay, if there's a trump suit, I don't want you under leading. I don't want you leading the fourth highest when you have 2 in a row, like ace king or king queen or queen jack. I want you to lead it. Okay. However, against no trump, when you have only 2 in a row at top, I do want you to lead the fourth best. I do want you to lead the fourth best. So against no trump, we would lead this one, and against the suit contract, we would lead the ace. Okay. Now there are other slight variations to this, but let's leave it at that. Okay, so let's see, we just had that. Let's now look at one other desirable lead, okay? Let's say you're on lead here, okay? And let me give you some bidding. Let's say the dealer's on your left, they open 1 diamond on your left, and your partner overcalls, say 1 spade. Okay, your partner overcalls 1 spade. They bid 2 hearts on your right. Okay. I know a lot of you know me for the law of total tricks, okay, but we're not going to bid 2 spades here, okay? In fact, I'll put it in and I'll undo it for those who still don't have sound out there. Let me show them that, and we're going to undo it, because to raise to 2 spades, all right, you would need some points. You're showing your partner like, at least a good 6 or 7 up to about 10 or 11. So we're not going to lie to our partner here. So we're going to pass. And let's say they go to 4 hearts. That will pass. Okay, well, partner bid a suit. And when partner bids a suit, you 99 times out of 100 are going to lead your partner's suit. Don't be a genius and lead some other suit. Now, if you had ace, king, queen of clubs, I would lead the ace, king, queen of clubs. But generally, lead your partner's suit. As to which card, I'll tell you in a moment. But leading your partner's suit keeps your partner happy. Some of you might know the great Eddie Cantor had an expression there's only 2 reasons not to lead your partner's suit. The only 2 reasons not to lead your partner's suit are A, you're void, or B, you're dead. So lead your partner's suit. But which card? Okay. Well, many years ago, maybe 50 years ago, they would teach you to lead the highest in your partner's suit. But we're going to undo that again, because in modern bridge, the correct thing to do is to lead low. Just lead the card you would normally lead. So with 3 to 1 honor, you lead low. Because if you lead high, your partner is going to think it's a singleton or a doubleton, and we don't want our partner to get the wrong impression. So when partner bids a suit, we lead low. Now, I know a lot of you have questions, so it'll be refreshing to get a question other than I have no voice. What can I do with the no sound? So afterwards, we're going to take some questions, because I know there's so many questions. What if I have an ace? What should I underlead in my partner's suit? But I'm just trying to cover the basics here. Okay, let's look at the situation. Let's say you're on lead, and let me put in some bidding. Let's go 1 no trump, and we pass, and it goes 3 no trump. Pass, pass, pass. Well, against no trump, the general rule is lead your best suit, and unless you have 3 in a row at the top, lead the 4th highest card. Why the 4th highest? Well, again, it's to give your partner information. That's why we pick the 4th highest. So when we have an experienced partner, our partner can draw some conclusions from it. Okay, now we would lead the 4th best from an ace. If we have, say, ace queen 5 times, we would lead the 4th best. Ace jack 5 times, we lead the 4th best. So against no trump, you can lead anything. You can underlead aces as long as you don't have 3 in a row or almost 3 in a row, like king queen 10 or something like that, or ace king jack. That's almost 3 in a row. But we pick 4th best. But sometimes, like here, it's not clear which suit we should pick. Okay, should we lead this one, or should we lead this one? Okay, so here's a general rule. When it's a close decision and you're trying to decide what to lead against no trump, we tend to pick the major. Okay, now here the diamonds are a little better. I gave you the 7 of diamonds and the 3, but we're going to lead the major. And the reason we try to lead a major against no trump is that when they reach no trump, they typically will not have 8 cards in spades or hearts, because they would have used stamen or a transfer. They would have tried to find their 8 card fit in the major, whereas in a minor, like diamonds or clubs, they're not really trying to find an 8 card fit. They don't show minors. So the odds are, if you lead a major, you might, you're not going to run into their big suit, whereas if you lead a minor, you could be running into their suit. Like, let me show you all the hands here. Of course, I made up this deal, but this is possible that the dummy has something like this, and the spade lead, you've struck gold here. Look how a diamond lead would have done. But the point is, if dummy's suit happened to be spades, queen 10, 5th of spades, they would have been bidding them. They would have transferred to them. But the diamonds, they're not going to show the diamonds. Okay, so that's why you tend to try to pick a major if it's close. Now, if you had, say, 4 spades jack and five diamonds, ace, queen, I would prefer a diamond. So it's only if it's a close decision that I prefer the major. Okay, now let me quickly cover this topic. Okay, what about leading away from a king? What about leading away from a king? Let's say you have a hand like this. Generally, well, if they were to no trump, it's not a big issue. Against no trump, you would lead a fourth best diamond. But let's say they end up in four hearts, okay? Let's say they end up in four hearts. Might you consider leading away from a king? Well, leading from a king is very aggressive. It's an aggressive thing to do. It's dangerous because you might hit the declarer with the ace queen on your right, or dummy with the queen and declarer with the ace. So it's a dangerous thing. However, certain auctions call for it. Let me show you an auction that might call for it. Let's say it goes one heart on your right, and you pass, I hope, and they bid two clubs. Natural, let's say, game forcing, and they repeat the hearts, and they repeat the club, say, and they jump to four hearts. Let's say that's the bidding. Okay, well, what do you expect is going to be in the dummy on your left? A lot of clubs, a lot of good clubs. And on your right, declarer is going to have a lot of hearts and good hearts. And I'm afraid that if I make a safe lead, like a trump, okay, but I'm going to take that one back. A trump lead's kind of safe, or a diamond. That's not as dangerous as leading from a king, okay? That's not going to get us anywhere. I'm afraid they're going to draw trump and run the clubs. So I am going to try to get some tricks, and I'm going to lead away from this king, and I'm going to hope something good comes from it. Okay, now that you see the dummy, I don't know if you want to take your lead back. I know everyone wants to see all the hands. So, all right, I'll show you all the hands since they're really here. I can show all the hands. Okay. So if it was match point scoring, we're going to collect our ace and king. And yeah, you might say that was a little bit lucky, but it's just that the auction kind of dictated that we do something aggressive and try to get some tricks. I could have made the deal differently, and maybe it wouldn't have been so successful. But the bottom line is, when their bidding tells you there's a long suit in the dummy, you want to be aggressive. Okay. Let's talk about a couple more things, and then I'll take some questions. And, this topic of opening leads could go on for hours and hours. This is just basic introduction. I do more webinars, more details on my website. I think I'll put it up here. For those of you who don't know, there's tons of information, or lots of rich information about all of the webinars I do, the teaching. There's articles, there's links to all the cruises and webinars. So everything's on there. Please, if you haven't seen that, bookmark that, and you can read plenty about opening leads there. Okay, let's talk about this hand here in front of you. Let's say you have this hand and it goes one spade, pass, two spades, pass, four spades. And you're on lead. So let's talk about this, all right? We could lead the jack of diamonds, okay, which is that's the one we would lead if we lead one. That's reasonable. Jack 10, 8. Or we could lead the doubleton. Okay, how do I feel about it? Either one's okay. Some experts swear by leading doubletons. They love it. Others are so-so. I'm medium about it. I think I might lead it here because I have several ways to win. I mean, maybe my partner has the king-queen of hearts, and I'll get in with my ace of spades. I like that I have this ace of spades here, so I think I'd lead the doubleton. I don't, but I can live with the jack of diamonds here. So doubletons are kind of medium. I'm okay with it, but not honor doubleton. Queen doubleton, jack doubleton, king doubleton, ace doubleton. Those are dangerous. Those I don't like. Small doubletons, okay. So I'm kind of neutral about those. Let me change it a little bit here. And let's go with the same auction. We're on lead, and it goes, say, one spade, pass, two spades, pass, four spades, and we are on lead. And we could lead the Jack of Diamonds, but no, that one I'm definitely taking back. I'm leading my singleton. Okay, I have done real well against trump contracts leading side suit singletons, not trump singletons. Now, singleton king, I wouldn't be so anxious to lead. Singleton ace, singleton queen, any singleton other than the king, I've had great success with. And here, even better, because I have the ace of trump to get in with. Okay, so that's a very desirable lead to lead a singleton. One last topic. Let me talk about trump leads. Okay, when should you lead a trump? Let me put up a hand here. Okay, trump leads, they're safe. Like if they're, say, in a hard contract and you wanted to lead a trump instead of the jack of clubs or the queen of diamonds or a spade, trump leads are generally like a, I have nothing better to do, I might lead a trump. However, there is one auction. Oh, yeah, let me get rid of all the cards here. Okay, just south. Okay, there is one auction that screams for a trump lead. Okay, one auction screams for a trump lead. And I'm going to tell you what that auction is, and then I'll show it to you. All right? Listen carefully. If you are on lead and the declarer on your right, the person on your right, is not in the suit that they open the bidding with, not the suit they open, like let's say they open the bidding one spade, but they end up in something else, their second suit. That screams for a trump lead when the declarer is in his or her second suit, like she opened grapes and then bid apples, and apples is the final contract. That is, it screams for a trump lead. Let me show you an auction. Ignore the hands you just saw because it's not a real deal. It's just an auction. I want to show you one spade on your right and you pass and it goes 1-0 trump. And any of you who want to learn about 1-0 forcing, semi-forcing, and my views on it, you can always Google, incidentally. Let me just type one more thing here since it's our last topic. Let's say you wanted to read about 1-0 trump forcing. It goes 3 hearts, pass, pass. Okay, 2 hearts. No, that's not the auction I want. Let me put up the auction I want. I'm used to my own technology, so I'm learning a new technology here. Thank you for bearing with me. Although the worst part was all of those, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Okay, let's say it goes like this. Okay, what are you going to lead now? Okay, well, the jack of clubs is possible, the queen of diamonds is possible. However, this is the auction that screams for a trump lead. Absolutely screams for a trump lead because declarer is in the second suit. And when that happens, you think about it, what do you think the declarer has here? The declarer probably has, say, 5 spades king. And what, pray tell, is the declarer going to do with all of those spades? Well, the declarer is going to try to trump those in the dummy. The dummy is going to have like maybe 4-card heart support and maybe a singleton spade. The declarer is going to try to trump spades in dummy. So since you want to prevent that, you'll lead a trump. And when you get in, I don't want to show that dummy because it's not really a real deal. I just threw in 39 other cards because that's the way the system works. But the dummy, that screams for a trump lead. So you lead a trump on that. All right. So I could either show one more deal or story, or I can start to take questions. Let me ask Sonia or Diana how we should do here. Should we just start to take some questions? Are there any questions? Let's see. Okay, if you want to, okay, you have some questions. I'll tell you what, this deal that I teased you with in front of, probably if you Google my name and biggest swing ever on opening lead, it'll probably come up, because, or it's in my favorite pictures too. This was the biggest swing ever on opening lead. So the opening lead swung 26 tricks. Somebody had to decide what to lead with this. So I'll tease you with that. If you can't find it, You can always email us. I don't know if I'll overwhelm us, but anything here that you didn't understand or you need help with, that's an email address that you can get help with. If you can't find something I talked about or you need help with something, that's our help desk. You can always get help there. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions. Sonia, if you want to tell me the first question. Okay. Can you lead the king? Here's the first question to the table. Can you lead the king from king, queen, 10 versus 3 now? So let's say it goes 1-0 past 3-0, and I'm on lead with king, queen, 10. Well, it's king, queen, 10 low, or even another one. Okay, definitely lead the king. Okay, so here's the exact rule. I'm going to answer king, queen, 10 only in a minute. But see, king, queen, 4-3-2, you lead the 3. With king, queen, 8-6-5, you will lead the 6. So king, queen, 10, 6-5, you lead the king. Anytime you have 2 in a row, or what Marty Bergen coined the phrase 2.5 in a row, so queen, jack, 9 low, you will lead the queen. Or jack, 10, 8 low, you will lead the jack. If the jack, 10, 6-5, 4, you will lead the 5. So the general rule is it's fourth best unless you have 3 in a row or 2.5 in a row. And 2.5 is a king, queen, 10 or queen, jack, 9, etc. Okay, so if you have only king, queen, 10, a 3-card suit, and it goes 1-0 past 3-0. No, I mean, you could lead that. Okay, you could lead it, but let's say I have king, queen, 10, jack, 10, 8, 7, 4-3-2, 4-3-2. I would lead the heart jack with that. So, I'm only going to lead the king if here's a hand. Let me try to come up with a hand where I might lead the king from only king, queen, 10. I'll put it up there in a minute. Let's go jack, 5-4, diamonds, jack, 4-3-2, guns, jack, 3-2. Let me put this up in a second. Let's try this. Let's see if I figured out who suit symbols. Hey, yeah, so let's say I'm 1-0, 3-0, and I could lead my fourth best diamond or the king of spades. Now I might choose the king of spades from that. Okay, now it really was off. Okay, just temporarily went out. I think I'm back. Okay, for what I missed, yeah, I clicked start speaking. Can you guys hear? Can anyone hear me now? Okay, now they can hear me. This is the year 2021. We're supposed to be past all these technology issues. I have a feeling that Sunday afternoons are Sunday afternoon and late Sunday in Europe, it's a busy time for BBL. Okay, anyway, if it's borderline, I just like fourth from my longest and strongest. Let me put it up here again, strongest unless 3, 4, 2.5, 2.5 sequence. Okay, I don't want to zig and zag and try to, I could have led queen jack low and hit my partner, or king queen 10 and hit my, I just lead my fourth from my longest and strongest, and it is what it is. I don't want to try to zig and zag and get it wrong all the time. Okay, so, if you always make the right lead, something fishy's happening. All right. What else, what other questions, Sonia, do we have from out there? Sonia, you have another question for me? I'm sorry to everyone that the technology is spotty. If we do this again, I don't really know what we can do. I'm talking, and I click voice, so I don't really know what to do. And those of you who hear me. So it's pretty bizarre. Let me write to Sonia. I know there were more questions. We're Where is she? Maybe her. Let's see. That's her. That's Diana. Let's see. Let me try again. Okay, I'm talking again. I'm talking now. I would love to. Someone asked me to have the video enabled, but I don't control this. I'm sorry for the cheap plug, but when I do Zoom webinars, you see my face, you hear me talk, and there seems to be, I don't know what to say. I don't really know what the issue is here. I'm not on the technical side of things. Okay. Too many people can't hear. Okay, so someone asked about coded 10s and 9s. Coded 10s and 9s. Okay. That's up to the partnership, I did this when I played with Marty Bergen. We played that the 10 or 9 is 0 or 2 higher, 10 or 9, 0 or 2 higher. It's very helpful to the defenders. It helps the defenders, but it also helps the declarer. So we decided it helps a good declarer too often. Anytime we played again in a good, strong field, we didn't use it because a good declarer would know when you leave the jack that you don't have king, jack, 10, and it helped them too much. So we did not do that coded 10 and 9s in a strong event. But in a weaker field, it's if you and your partner understand it, then it's fine because you guys have a big advantage in that you're helping each other, and if the declarer is not too strong a declarer, then they're not going to really gain much from it. So yeah, in a weak field, coded 10s and 9s are fine, but otherwise, I don't recommend it. Okay, were there any other questions from me? Okay, let me ask Sonia more questions. And let's see, if not, I want to thank BBO, especially Diana for getting this set up, and Sonia for her help today. I'm just sorry that the technology didn't go so well. Okay, I'm told that the voice server reached a maximum limit. So I guess that's good news and bad news. Apparently, after a certain number of people were logged in, nobody could hear, I guess. I don't know how it works. All right. So and I say, okay. Okay, when do we want to be passive on lead? Okay, here's a question. When passive on lead? Okay, against part scores. Okay, there's no reason to attack. If you have lots of things you don't want to lead away from, like let's say it goes 1 heart, let's say it goes 1 heart, pass, 2 hearts, pass, 4 hearts, pass, and you have, say, queen, XX, queen, XX and spades, 3 little hearts, jack, 4 of diamonds, and club, ace, XX. I would lead a trump. Okay, because I don't really want to lead anything else. I'm not leading the ace or under leading it, and leading from a queen or a jack and take a guess, I would lead a trump. So I'm passive if I have nothing attractive to lead, and they're in a part score situations like that. It's when I would make a safe lead. Passive means safe. Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off then. Again, what can we do? For those of you who were able to hear, thank you for coming. For those who couldn't hear, I do hope someday maybe they'll be recording of this if they can hear. So again, thank you to BBO, and let me one last time put up my website. You can find everything there, and you can email us at webinars@larrycohen.com. We do broadcasts, we do cruises, we do a lot of teaching, and you can see me, hopefully hear me. Thank you, everybody. Bye, everyone. Stay well.